Imagine walking through a quiet forest, the crunch of leaves underfoot. You feel safe, unaware that something is watching. Not just any predator, but one that's learned to hunt you. These aren't the lions, tigers, or sharks of storybooks. These are real creatures, driven by desperation, injury, or a chilling taste for human flesh. For centuries, they've stalked villages, rivers, and beaches, leaving behind blood-soaked legends. From a tiger that killed over 400 people to a crocodile that may still lurk in the shadows, these are the 6 deadliest man-eaters in history. Their stories will make you rethink what it means to be prey. The Champawat tiger, the queen of man-eaters. In the early 1900s, the foothills of Nepal and northern India became a killing ground. A single Bengal tigress, later known as the Champawat tiger, turned entire villages into ghost towns. Her official death toll, 436 people. That's more than any other man-eater in recorded history. This wasn't a creature that skulked in the shadows, waiting for a stray hiker. She roared into villages in broad daylight, her presence so terrifying that doors slammed shut and daily life ground to a halt. Farmers stopped tending fields. Children stopped playing outside. Fear ruled. Her reign of terror began in Nepal, where she claimed over 200 lives. Villagers fetching water or walking to work vanished, their bodies later found torn apart in the forest. The Nepalese army was called in, not to kill her, but to drive her out. They succeeded, partially. One chilling case involved a 16-year-old girl dragged into the forest, her body left as a grim marker of the tiger's path. The British colonial government, desperate to end the nightmare, summoned Jim Corbett, a hunter who would become a legend for tracking man-eaters. Corbett followed the blood trails, staked out villages, and finally faced the tigress after days of pursuit. When he shot her, the truth emerged. Her upper right canine was broken in half, her lower one worn to the gum. These injuries made it impossible for her to hunt deer or boar, her usual prey. So, she turned to humans, slow, defenseless, and abundant. Her dental damage wasn't just a physical flaw, it was the spark that ignited a killing spree spanning 2 countries. The Champawat tiger's story isn't unique. I've seen it myself, working with a team in India's Bandhavgarh National Park. A tiger named Pancham followed a similar path, his 4 canines shattered, his mouth a wreck. Unable to hunt wild prey, he too turned to humans, proving that desperation can transform even the mightiest predator into a man-eater. The New Jersey shark attacks, terror in the surf. In the summer of 1916, as a heat wave and polio outbreak drove crowds to New Jersey's beaches, a new kind of horror emerged from the sea. Over 12 days, a shark, or possibly sharks, attacked 5 people, killing 4. The first strike came on July 1st in Beach Haven, where 25-year-old Charles Van Sant was mauled while swimming. Locals dismissed it as a fluke. 5 days later in Spring Lake, Charles Bruder was attacked, his legs torn off. He bled out before reaching shore. Then the unimaginable happened. On July 12th, in Matawan Creek, a brackish inland waterway 30 miles from the ocean, 11-year-old Lester Stillwell was dragged under while swimming. Stanley Fisher, a 24-year-old who dove in to save him, was also attacked and died. Minutes later, half a mile upstream, 14-year-old Joseph Dunn was bitten but survived. The attack sparked nationwide panic. Beaches closed and armed patrols scoured the waters. A great white shark caught nearby had human remains in its stomach, but experts now believe a bull shark was the likely culprit. Unlike great whites, bull sharks thrive in fresh water, capable of swimming far up rivers. The 1916 attacks, driven by a perfect storm of human crowds and a shark's adaptability, changed how we view the ocean, planting the seeds of modern shark hysteria. Gustav the crocodile. The unkillable monster. Put your gaze to the Ruzizi River and the northern shores of Lake Tanganyika in Burundi, Africa. Here, a Nile crocodile named Gustav has carved a legend that may still be growing. First documented in the 1980s by French herpetologist Patrice Fay, Gustav is no ordinary croc. Estimates suggest he's over 20 feet long and weighs more than 2,000 pounds, making him one of the largest crocodiles ever recorded. His rumored death toll? Between 200 and 300 people. Gustav doesn't hunt like other crocodiles. He's too massive to chase fish or antelope. Instead, he targets hippos, buffalo, and humans, the easiest prey of all. Villagers along the riverbank live in constant fear, knowing a trip to the water could end in a scream and a splash. What makes Gustav truly terrifying is his apparent invincibility. He's been shot at multiple times, his hide marked by bullet scars and a gnarled wound on his shoulder. Locals say he doesn't always eat his kills. Sometimes he just kills for the sake of it. In the early 2000s, a National Geographic team tried to capture him with a 30-foot steel trap, baited with rotten meat and even live animals. Infrared cameras watched every move. Smaller crocs took the bait, but Gustav never did. In a final attempt, they placed a live goat in the trap. A storm hit that night, disabling the cameras. By morning, the goat was gone, the trap was damaged, and Gustav had vanished. Is he still out there? No one knows for sure, but villagers still scan the water's edge, wondering if the monster is watching. The sloth bear of Mysore, the devil in the jungle. In the early 1900s, deep in the jungles near Mysore, India, a creature far less fearsome looking than a tiger or lion became a nightmare. A sloth bear, typically a fruit and insect eater, went rogue. Unlike other man-eaters, this bear didn't hunt for food. It attacked out of rage, charging villagers, tearing off faces, and ripping scalps from skulls. At least 12 people died and dozens more were left disfigured, their lives forever scarred. The attacks were personal, almost vengeful. Survivors described a shaggy, awkward creature that moved like a ghost, striking without warning and vanishing into the underbrush. Locals called it the devil bear, blaming its rampage on a poacher's bullet or habitat loss that drove it from its territory. The British called in Kenneth Anderson, a hunter known for tackling rogue animals. Tracking the bear through dense jungle, he faced it in a heart-pounding showdown and finally killed it. The devil bear's story is a reminder that even a goofy animal can become a monster when pushed too far. The leopard of Rudraprayag, the ghost of the Himalayas. While the Champawat tiger haunted jungles, another big cat terrorized the Himalayan foothills of northern India from 1918 to 1926. The leopard of Rudraprayag didn't just kill, it invaded homes. This wasn't a remote wilderness. It was a bustling pilgrimage route dotted with villages and sacred shrines. Yet for 8 years, nightfall brought dread. Villagers bolted their doors, held their breath, and prayed the leopard wouldn't come for them. This leopard didn't wait for prey to wander into the forest. It smashed through mud walls, tore through thatch roofs, and dragged people from their beds. Its official death toll was 125, but locals swore it was far higher, as many deaths in isolated hamlets went unrecorded. The first known victim was a woman in Benji village, ripped from her home with surgical precision. Search parties found only blood, scraps of clothing, and scattered bones. Jim Corbett, fresh from his victory over the Champawat tiger, was called in again. Even he called this leopard the most cunning predator he'd ever faced. For 10 weeks, he camped in freezing forests, followed dead-end trails, and waited through endless nights. On May 2nd, 1926, he finally shot the beast. So why did it hunt humans? Its intelligence and audacity still haunt the stories told in those Himalayan villages. The Tsavo man-eaters, the lions that stopped an empire. In 1898, the British Empire's ambition to build a railway across Kenya hit a bloody roadblock. 2 male lions known as the Tsavo man-eaters turned a construction camp near the Tsavo River into a slaughterhouse. For 9 months, they stalked workers, dragging them from their tents under cover of night. Thorn fences and massive bonfires couldn't stop them. The lions were relentless, their attacks so frequent that laborers fled, halting the Kenya-Uganda Railway. Lieutenant Colonel John Henry Patterson, the railway's chief engineer, took on the hunt. After months of failed traps and near misses, he killed the first lion on December 9, 1898. The second was tougher, surviving multiple gunshots before falling 20 days later. Patterson claimed the lions killed 135 people, though modern estimates suggest 28 to 31 documented deaths, with the true toll likely higher due to unrecorded victims. Why did these lions turn to humans? Theories point to a rinderpest outbreak that decimated their usual prey, like buffalo and antelope. One lion also had a severe dental infection, making hunting painful. Some believe the lion scavenged human remains from slave caravans crossing the Savo River, learning to see us as food. Whatever the cause, these lions weren't just predators. They were calculated killers, their legacy preserved in their skulls and pelts at Chicago's Field Museum. History shows us that when nature pushes back, it doesn't always come in the form we expect. Sometimes it's a beast too broken to hunt its prey. Sometimes it's a predator too clever to resist the lure of easy victims. These man-eaters remind us of a chilling truth. Out in the wild, we're never as safe as we think. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with fellow wildlife enthusiasts, and subscribe for more gripping tales from the wild. And remember, out there, survival isn't guaranteed.